All right, I'm going to remove the valve core from this tire over here. The valve core is those little gold and red things. Now this is a tool that I got from Walmart. Mainly all you do is you go over here to the tire with this thing right here, and this, you want to use this one, this piece. Take the cap off. Stick this end into here, like this. Put it in. Now it's in. Turn it counterclockwise. Air will escape. Here's the valve core that was inside. Step on the tire. There. All right, that part is removed. And this is an exact duplicate of the other tire, this tire right here. So I'm going to swap out the rim. That's the next step. I'm going to get some. This step is where I'm going to break the bead of the tire from the rim. The bead of the tire is this section right here. All of this crap, all the way around. This section of the tire itself. This little piece right here is a bead. There's a bead over here on the other side. You got two beads. They call it a bead. I don't know. Anyway, it's over there, and I gotta break. Right now it's connected to the tire, the rim. I need to break the bead. So take some soapy water to loosen up if I can. Spray it all the way around. This is dish soap and water. Let it get it right in there. Spray it real good. And this is a pry bar. Get them at Harbor Freight for like $8. They look like this. The ends are a little bit different. Got a flat kind of end here. Flip it around. It's a little bit curved. So I'll work on it a bit and I'll show you how I did it. All right, I forgot. Don't use these bars to break the bead. There's a tool for this. Now go get it. All right, this is a bead breaker tool right here. Big ass socket, 1/2 inch breaker bar. Stick this here and stick one of these in the other side and pry down so this machine can slide in here. You get enough space under this. This thing's got to slide underneath the rim. Anyway, the bead has been separated on this side. It apparently might not be separated yet on this side, but you can hit this with a hammer. It is now separated on the other side. So all I do now is get these out of here, unscrew this thing, which quite frankly is very easy to do. Pop this sucker out. La la la. Let's see. There's a bolt here. A bolt here too, and there's one thing up here. The bolt head. So all I do is turn them, and keep on turning them. It's easier to turn it with this thing, this big ass socket. As you can see, the tire is starting to rise right in here, back up. It was compressed earlier. Just keep on doing it. Trying to get the bead breaker removed from this. There. Bead breaker is removed. Bead breaker looks like this. It's a claw that grips this part, the rim. Put a piece of cloth so it won't tear the rim up. Put a piece of cloth, like I had in the video there, underneath this, so it won't scrape the rim. This thing right here, this thing is turned, tightened, this piece goes down. And these pieces right here, this and this, these two pieces, go underneath the rim, right here. Here. That's why I had to use these things to pry it down some, so I can get these pieces underneath here, so I could actually make this machine tool work. And I had to hit the back of this to get it underneath here. And soapy water, sprayed it as I felt I wanted to, and it eventually popped. This is one bead. The other side needs to be done still. As I did on the other side with these things, to provide enough room for this piece to get underneath the rim, I did use this here, compressed it, and soapy water and stuff like that. Spray all the way around the rim before you even start trying to get this thing put in underneath the rim. I broke it. I had to break it in two spots. One spot was here. It started to give, the beads started to break free from the rim, but it wasn't really separating all the way around. So I did it over here too. Put this tool over here, and I broke the bead over here. And then I used a lot of soapy water and used this hammer and hit it here, hit it here, hit it here, and eventually by breaking the bead here and here, and by using this hammer without hitting the rim, just hit the tire, it separated all the way around. I am now going to pull this bead, this part of the tire over top of this. As you can see, I stuck this bar in there and it pulls it over top. The tire before then wasn't. The rim was over top. You see that? But now I'm trying to bring the rubber part of the tire over top. It has to be taken all the way around like this. I took this part, not this part, but this part, and stuck it in like this. And I got it in there pretty deep, and I've been prying it. It's coming off. And I'm probably going to do this over here, here, and gradually get it all the way around, and this part will be off the tire. The best way to try to get the second bar for me at this time is to do not pry the rubber tire over the rim yet. Stick this piece in and stick one over here first, two. And then you got two of them in here, and then pry them. If this doesn't work, you just bring this bar a little bit closer to the other one and do it. But you just gradually work it all the way around. Use a screwdriver if you have to. Use whatever it takes. But get this sucker over the rim. These bars, I did bring them closer together when I was prying, so I could actually get the tire piece over the rim a little bit. I mean, I had them both together closer like this, so I could get the section between the bars right here over the rim. I did it over there, but I also found that this little thing right here, you can probably use a big screwdriver. I found that this was useful for me, and I'll show you. So you stick it right in here, pry it, and there, get it right in here, pry it. It's coming right off. There. One side is off the rim. Guess what I get to do now? The other side. All right. In order to get this rim out of the tire entirely, I think I already showed this, but you stick one of these things this way, vertically. And then you pry this sucker like this, so you get some tire out. That's how it is right now. You get some tire out, and then you, right next to it, you take a hammer and whack it. You whack it. You whack it. You work it around. You take a little bit of this, one of these things, pry it a little bit like this, if you can. If necessary, you may not have to do this. I'm not even sure if I did, but you can try it. You just take this hammer, see this right here? You whack it, see this right here? You whack it, like this. More of the rim's coming out by doing that. And right about now, grab the rim, out comes the rim. The next step is to, this is sandpaper, 180 grit. Probably can be whatever grit you want. All I'm doing is cleaning around the beads, making sure it's nice and smooth. So I want the beads to, this bead right here, you can see it. I want it to be flat against this. No freaking crap that's not making it flat. So I'm just going to sand it up, maybe wipe it down with the rag, and then put the tire back in. Pretty much it. I'm not going to replace the valve core because I don't have one right now, a new one. It's still pretty, it's not leaking, so I'm going to give it another try. All right, you want the date of manufacture of this tire on the outside, so you can read it from the on the side of the car. So you'll look for it. It says DOT, Department of Transportation, and then some other crap. The last four numbers, though, are on this tire. It says 4823. That means the 48th week of the year 2023. I will not put it. I want these tires within 6 months of manufacture. Longer than 6 months, I'd rather get another tire. This one, I believe, was made in early December last year. So it's within about 4 months. All right. What I did with this so far is I laid the rim, the back side of the rim into the tire, got as far as much as I could on both sides just by laying it in. Then I've taken this little one of these bars, and right next to it, I'll slide it in a little bit. Then I'll put some weight on it. You see this? See how it's moving out? Then I'll step on it or something. And you can see how it's coming up over. Now, I'll do another one very quickly. Slide it in like so, if I can. And then I'm going to slide this one forward like this. It's probably a better way of doing this. It's just the way I'm doing it. So I need it closer. So I'm just going to do a little bit at a time, all the way around till the rim goes in. And then I got it most of the way. Had a little bit more left, so I just put my feet on top of this and hopped up and down, kind of like hopped, and it popped all the way in. So this one side has made it through. The tire is now covering the whole section of this all the way around. It's all the way around. So I'm going to flip the tire over and see if I can get the rim to be on the outside of this. That's what I'm trying to do now. Now this might sound crazy, but I did what I could. I was able to get about half of the, see this? About half of the tire underneath the rim. Half of the tire. And then I had a lot of it still was above the rim. You probably have seen YouTube videos where people put their knees on this side and that side, one knee on each side, you know, and kind of like gradually pry it on and stuff like that. I couldn't do it for some reason. There wasn't enough, too much tire was hanging over top of this that I couldn't get the damn, I couldn't pry it. I couldn't pry the tire underneath. I couldn't get it underneath. This is a possibility that I didn't use bead grease, so it wasn't slipping enough. Maybe it needed to slip more or something, but I couldn't do it. So I used the bead breaker to press the tire down far enough. And when I pushed it down far enough, I was able to pry next to it. And using the second bar, I was in actually a screwdriver too. I was able to get in here and pry it, and eventually I was able to get the tire underneath all of it. It's a bit of a trick because you got to make sure that the stuff you put underneath already doesn't come back out. Doesn't come back on top of the rim. So you might have to stick a bar like here and put your foot here, so somehow or another this will prevent it from the tire from coming back up on top of the rim, while you put the bead breaker over here, and then take a little small screwdriver or a bar like this bar and pry next to it. And eventually, if you're careful enough or whatever, you can get it like I just did, the tire onto the rim. There's probably a better way of doing this. It's probably because I didn't lubricate the tire enough using soapy water, or didn't have enough soap in it, or didn't use bead grease that would make it easier to slide on the rim. But hey, nonetheless, it's on. So maybe I'll do the next step. Maybe. All right. I lay the tire on the ground, and I put soapy water around the bead, and connected this little connector. You can get it from Harbor Freight. It comes in a kit with this hose for like $12 or something like that at this time. And I just screwed it on here. It's made for the fit on here. And then when it was tight, that big air compressor over there, it's a 140, I had it at 140 psi. And then I plugged this, obviously, plugged this end right here into the, this is an adapter. I plugged this into the air compressor, and then I squeezed this, and while I was standing on it, standing on the rim, don't stick anything between this, especially your fingers. This side popped first, and the other side popped, and then I looked at it, made sure it was actually popped all the way around, because it can possibly pop, but then it won't. It's not actually sealed over here yet. The bead hasn't fully attached to the rim. So you look at the whole side, then you flip it over and look at the other side, make sure it's all, they call it seated, fixed, whatever you want to call it, fixed or seated. And then anyway, that's good. So now I disconnected everything, and I'm going to put the valve core back in, and then just like I took it out, I'm going to use the same thing but tighten it in, and then I'm going to put some air into it, 51 psi for this thing, and then I'm going to balance it. A quick note regarding the air compressor. I bring it to 140 psi. It's not the reason why I do that is because I want to have a lot of pressure put into the tire quickly to make the bead seat, front and back. Also, make sure your fingers are not between the bead and the rim, because that thing's going to snap shut. You can keep them on the tread, but don't stick them between that. And I think that's it. All right, this is a it's not Harbor Freight. This is eBay. I think it's the same thing as Harbor. Anyway, got this off eBay. It's a balancer, bubble balancer. You know why? See if I can show you. There's a little bubble in there. I don't know if you can see it. It's inside the black circle. There's a little bubble. I'll tap this, and maybe it'll move around for you. There, see the little bubble? There it is. Bubble needs to be in there. So, if it's not in there, you can adjust these screws. These little small screws are on this thing right here. There's a screw, where the hell they're at? They're right there, next near the bubble. 3 of them. One right there, and then one right there. You can adjust this so you can level it on your garage floor so that you have a good level. The bubble's got to be in the center before you put the tire on. I'm going to put the tire on now and see what happens. All right, I got the tire on here, and let's see, the bubble's in the center. See, there's a tire weight. It looks like one of these right there. Little thing right there, that thing right there. You can put those on. I have one of those on the other side of this tire. It connects to the rim. Harbor Freight has some peel off tire weights. You peel them off and you stick them on the rim, like in, I don't know if I can hold all this crap. Right here, you can stick them right here, like right in here. It's just something where you can get some weight in there. And you want to clean off the surface and stuff like that. You can stick them on the back side too, but I would just stick them on this side. See how I can move it back and forth, the tire moves, and the bubble goes in the center. Right there, so the tire's balanced. I didn't have to do anything gladly. What else? You want to clean off this other side of this rim where it's resting on top of this balancer. That way you don't have any debris or some crap that's on there, giving it that's affecting its balance. And some people modify these balancers, do some drilling to them. That's up to you. I didn't do that to this. You have to add a little oil to a piece of this balancer, a certain piece. If you read the instructions, if you get this, you'll know which piece. You want to add some oil. It's mainly just, it helps keep, I think, the part be able to wobble back and forth pretty well. That's what the oil's for. You put some oil on a certain spot. But the reason why this tire is balanced already is because I had this tire, this rim balanced before, and I still have the weight on there, so it's I think it's not a problem. The tire itself, I think they make them so well these days that they're pretty much level all the way around. So, which is nice. If you get a good tire, that is. Some tires are probably sloppily made or not very well made, but this one's one of the more better tires. Not the highest expensive, but it's pretty expensive. I could have gotten a lot cheaper. So anyway, this is it. Everything's good. You can drive it on the road and watch it blow up. No, I'm joking. It should be totally fine. And you might want to check for leaks here and there throughout, maybe once or twice the first month, so that way you know whether or not it's going to have a problem for you. It shouldn't leak, but if it does, that means that the bead had some dirt maybe between the bead and the rim, or the valve. This thing, I didn't replace the new one, is leaking, which it wasn't before. I moved the tire, but it's whole. I don't hear any sissing, like a little bit of a hissing noise. I mean, hissing. I didn't hear any hissing, so there shouldn't be no major leaks. So anyway, there you go. Put all those together. If you follow this, it's going to take some time to do this work, but if you take it to the shop and you pay $20 or whatever they charge, and you can have it done. And but I wanted to know how to do it, and I wanted to be able to do it. And this is my third tire. I assure you, the more you do them, the better. This is nice compared to the first two I did. Some of the videos on YouTube are helpful. I will admit they are useful, but you might want to get some bead grease, and you might want to add more dish soap to the water to get a lot of lubrication on the rim and the bead, because I had a lot of problems getting the second bead on this tire, and I think the reason why was because of there wasn't much lubrication, and the tire was having a hard time sliding on the rim. But maybe not. Maybe not. I'm not an expert here. Just wanted to put a video together so that people could watch it and learn something, maybe, and it gives me a reference to look back to if I want to do this again. All right, that's it.